Welcome to the 58-Minute Breakfast, where we discuss our town's tourism with local business owners and leaders in our community. Join in on today's discussion all about hospitality.
What would you suggest to other business owners that are kind of trying to up their game with hospitality?
I think you have to listen to your client base on what they want, whether it's hours of operation or restaurants, what they want to eat or what they want to see. Because when it comes down to it, if you're not offering what they want, they're not going to come back. Number one thing. And if you have your hour set from 8 to 3, then you're there from 8 to 3. Unless the weather's, some crazy circumstances do happen. But I also think that you just have to stand out. You have to find the one thing that you're good at, and you have to just push it and make people see it.
When we have a town full of servers and people working in the industry, like they know what to do. Most of them do, at least. Some of them just need the right push. I think one of our biggest things that we allow that makes everybody's work environment better is just give people freedom. Let people work on recipes. Let servers and bartenders create drinks that they want to put on the menu. Just give people freedom and make it their own. I think that's one of the biggest things that really just lets people shine. So give people an opportunity to shine, they'll grow.
Mayor, you've been here all your life, and you've seen.
Not yet.
Well,
you've seen the ups and downs in Eureka, and and you've been on CFPC Commission, you've been City Council, you've been Mayor for. You've had great terms here, and you've really seen some great things happen. From your perspective, in the world of hospitality, how do you see Eureka's growth? Is it getting better? Is it going where it should be going? Can we improve? What can we do?
Oh, I think we can always improve. I think if we're, staying in one spot, we're going downhill. I think what Colin and Jennifer talked about, it's so important because that is what our visitors want to see. One of the things I get so excited about when I go and introduce our town to groups as a welcome is I'd say, and this was several years ago, but I can probably still say we have over 75 restaurants in the area. And we only have 3 franchises. We've got a McDonald's, a Subway, and a Pizza Hut. Everything else is mom and pop entrepreneurs. And all of them are individual and similar to what Colin said, are custom restaurants. And that's what makes us unique. People are going, I said, we're a town of 2,000 people and we have that many restaurants. They go, wow. But it's so important because also within those restaurants, I said, we have at least 4 to 5-star restaurants within that group. Twice that many 4-star restaurants, and almost all of them are 3-star restaurants. I'd say we have very little poor restaurants. And I'm a foodie. I just love food and different foods that we get. And so that's exciting to me because I think that's a lot of what makes us unique. And we are unique. I've traveled all over the United States and I haven't ever seen a place quite like Eureka. And so I think and you and I talked earlier, when COVID hit, I used to say that our town comprised of 25% off tourism business and 75% tourism. But when COVID hit, all of a sudden, the hotel, because of the law and what the governor was doing, our hotels shut down. Then our restaurants shut down. We had shop owners up here. They shut down because there wasn't anybody here to shop. And our streets literally in March were vacant. I mean, it was like back in the 1960s in January, you could roll a bowling ball down the street and not hit a car. It's scary. It was a ghost town. And I realized then that I would say 95% of our business is tourism and hospitality oriented. And we have to protect that and create that and do whatever we can to promote it. And that's part of the CAPC. But I think the other thing too, and Jennifer hit on it too, is it's up to the business owners to create that welcome environment. The biggest complaint I hear And of course, we're kind of past it now, but you get October, November. We've gone through a whole year of businesses and people are tired, but it's the attitude. Some of it's not necessarily merchants owners, but some of the workers just don't care. They're tired, and they don't welcome everybody. One of my favorite stories is that we had a shop owner during a big bike event, and she was complaining about the noise of the motorcycles. And this woman was in there with $500 worth of merchandise, getting ready to buy, and she heard this complaint about the motorcycles, and she just stopped down and dropped her stuff and says, "I'm one of those," and turned around and walked out. Here's a $500 sale they missed because of that one comment. And we can't discriminate. We got to be welcoming to everybody, because we pride ourselves on being diverse, and that means not only people but businesses and types of business. And I think that's another one of those things. But it's difficult, because then you get down into the residents versus business and all that. But I think overall, if we didn't have tourism, the majority of our residences wouldn't live here.
Still kind of talking about I think the concept of hospitality, and Alan Huffman from Arvest is here today. And I know, Alan, you have just as many challenges with hospitality when people come through your doors.
Sure. Part of our job when someone applies for financing to purchase one of these businesses is to be a counselor, a financial counselor. They may be people that have moved here from a job in a big city somewhere and don't have any experience in hospitality. So, really uncovering those things with these people, counseling them, showing them, it's hard work. It's not just open the doors and people come in. You guys spend long hours in your businesses. So making sure that they're aware of that before they get in the project is pretty important.
One of the things that is critical in any business is employee retention. How do we keep employees? And I see it across the board from finance to education to restaurants to lodging, and I see it in so many areas where it has become difficult, and maybe post-COVID, to keep employees within your business. And retention is just huge. And Jennifer, I know that I've seen so many familiar faces, and I know that you've been able to work with those people, and they've kept with you, you've kept with them. How do you do that?
I think it's basically expectations. This is what I need from you. This is base, and then we communicate, we talk back and forth. You're a counselor, you listen to other problems, you help them. It's just as much as that, they call me mom. I'm gonna say 90% of my employees call me mom. And they call me, I might get a phone call at 11 o'clock at night, "Hey, I have this problem." Talk it through, then they show up for it the next day in a better place. So if you don't listen to them and you just expect things, you're not gonna get everything that they have to offer. But the communication, but you have to do this job. My number one rule when I hire someone is you show up on time and you show up with a smile on your face. People come to town to forget life. Yep. They just want to enjoy it. So you had a bad night, check it at the door. Number one rule. And then customers feel that. Every single person in the restaurant smiles. We have fun, we play around all day. People love that. People come to this town wanting to have a good time, wanting to forget everything. And I think that we have to remember that, which is another thing that I love about you guys now. Hey, we have all these shows, you communicate. I know, hey, what should we do today? Where should we go tonight? What's happening in town? Now we kind of know what's going on in town. Yeah. And it's that's important for us because people come to us, hey, what can we do? Yes. Well, the auditorium has this going on tonight, or there's this event in the Basin Park, or whatever's happening, this group's in town, you have to check this out. They love that, people love that. It makes them feel like they're part of the town, and from coming back from once a year, we see them every October 1st, and then you see them again, hey, they're here in May. Then the next year, they're here 3 times, and the next year, they're here 4 times, and then they want to move here. I've seen that, I've been here 17 years, and the number of people that have moved here or come back 4 or 5 times a year, it's grown and grown and grown. And this is a town that just gets in you and you have to be here. And I'm so excited that you're promoting the town in all the different ways that all the different people can enjoy it.
And you probably see the same thing. How do you keep the good people?
Pay them more.
Well, that's a start. That's true.
Well, obviously pay them more. Treat them nicely. Treat them like a human being. I already touched on giving them the freedoms to make it their own. Obviously, like Jennifer said, like here's the guideline. Like you have to do this.
This was a step today that came about, and I've always had a 58-minute meeting in my mind, and then it came up. I think that my staff, Caitlin and Danielle, are so creative. They said, "How about a 58-minute breakfast?" And I went, "This is great." And the whole concept is, let's get something done in an hour. And I think we did that very well today. And I want to thank you, Alan, for being here. Jennifer, thanks so much for letting us come into the restaurant. Colin, thank you for being here. And also thank you for joining the CABC Commission. I really appreciate that. You've already been helping us out. And Mayor, thank you so much for your input and the value that you bring not only to this meeting this morning, but also the community as well. So all in all, my takeaway was, we've got great businesses in Eureka Springs. My takeaway is also that we need to be mindful of every time we turn the corner in the hospitality business, we are being that representation of a great tourism community. And it may not always be the face that you want to see when they talk to you, but on the same token, you've got to do the right thing. And it's kind of that thing where at the end of the day, you say, be nice. And that's the way it goes. All right, friends, thank you so much. And again, our appreciation to all the things that you guys do for Eureka.